Okay, so now we are recording. Happy Friday. It's been a little bit of a mess with snowstorms and ice storms. Although Dana's not getting any of that because she's in Florida. She's like, I don't have to worry about that.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful here. Like no
Hey,
humidity,
must be nice.
humidity. It has been freezing, but that kind of was last week. It's beautiful right now.
I
It's like
do,
when I need to go outside and garden.
I bet you your freezing is not really freezing.
Well, for us, because it's a wet cold, so it's like bone chilling.
Yeah.
So for us, we're not used to it. My blood is not as thick as it used to be when I was little.
All right, so let's go ahead. Today, guys, we wanted to talk about taxes because it is tax season, and I have a love-hate relationship with tax season because it's something that I really do enjoy doing, but I hate getting ready to do it, if that even makes sense. Like once I'm in it and doing it, I'm fine. But sometimes like just the thought of gathering all the things is like, I need to make sure I have everything and then whatever. But it's actually kind of fun for me. So whatever. Once I'm doing it again, like I said, I love it. So Melissa actually has a form that she created. You created it, right? For yourself for taxes. So she's going to make that available for all of you. We're going to share her screen. I'm going to make her the host. And then I actually have, because I've been spending time with doing all my tax stuff. So I'm pretty much finished with mine. So I can turn it into my accountant. So before I give it to my accountant, I'm going to show you guys what I do to organize because my accountant loves me. He says that I make his job extremely easy because I guess you can say I'm OCD when it comes to organizing and having things prepared because I don't want to miss anything. And I guess I feel, I don't know, I feel like that's my job to make his job easier. So, you know, I just like to make sure that I have everything in line in order for him. So I did make you the host, Melissa. Do you want to start or do you want me to kind of go over what I do to prepare and organize and then
I'll just share it real quick.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so let me share my screen here. Okay, so I pulled it up and yeah, I made a copy of this and then you guys, I'll share the link in our team page or in the recording of this call. And then you guys, like this is a copy. So either make a copy of this or you can edit it, like whatever. I guess I would say make a copy of this and then you can edit it. Now I took out all my information, but I just left the tab. So this is how I organize mine. And it took me a while to like perfect this. And some things it's hard if you're like, I don't know what category to put it in. And you can just reach out to Deidre and I and we can help you with that. But like promoting and advertising is one of mine. And this is going to be stuff like if you buy presets, if you pay for apps, I have to pay for my Zoom subscription to be able to record. Flow desk, like if you do email marketing, marketing bundles, like mompreneur stuff. If you have a assistant make things for you, anything like that is going to fall under your promoting advertising. So I write exactly what it is, and then I write the total, like in this column here. And then I write the grand total at the bottom. So that's how I do that. And then another tab I use is office supplies. So this is going to be like ink for your printer, notebooks, envelopes, binders, printers, computers. If you buy a new phone, anything office. So pens, highlighters, staplers, organizers, dry erase boards, anything like that. Like just think of staples, okay, and go wild. My cell phone bill. Now, my husband and I are on a plan together, so you have to be careful when it comes to stuff like this. But I take our cell phone bill and it'll show you like total for my phone number, total for his phone number. I just highlight that on my receipt and then I put that in my folder. Your internet, I write off our internet, like I need internet to do my business, so stuff like that. So again, I just wanted to kind of show you like what I use. I just itemize it, I write the total, and then I write the grand total. Miscellaneous, this is anything you don't know where to put it. So we've been working on our basement. So like my little gym area we worked on last winter. So I wrote that off. So drywall, mud, lumber, paint, that sort of thing. That's my workout space. So again, I wrote the total, gas, travel, meetings. So this is going to be like if you meet up with someone local, if you go to Summit, if you take the Success Club trip, super weekends, that sort of thing. Save your gas receipts. Save food that you eat while you're there. Save if you stay at a hotel, turnpike tolls. I have that on there too. Like anything like that that's for a business meeting, you'll want to save. I have grand total next, but I don't know why. Let's skip that for right now. So gifts and sign up promos. So this is going to be if you buy a gift for someone. So like if you run a free group with prizes, or if you run a fun little challenge with your team. And like I just bought something. I'm doing a Reels challenge with my girls next week. So I have a little prize for them. If I did like a sign up bonus, you can see there, if you buy gifts for anyone, things like that. So any gifts or giveaways you do, save your receipts for that. You want to get in the habit of saving your receipts for everything. USPS, it seems really silly when you're going to the post office and you mail someone something for $4. You don't even think about it, but like look at all the lines I had here. Like I spend like $200 at the post office every year just mailing people things. Even if it's like just that, like I said, an envelope with some packets of Energize in it, and it only costs you $4, you want to save that receipt because that's going to add up. Like just keep in the mindset of like, if I was spending, I wouldn't be spending this money if it wasn't for my business, right? Like that's what I tell myself all the time, just to kind of keep your mind in check there of what you need to write off. Beachbody expenses. Now this is something, Deidre and I talked about this a long time ago too. Like I guess some accountants might give you grief for writing off consumables, like something you would eat or drink, but you need to buy products to be active, right? Like you're not going to hit Success Club unless you have product on HD and you are an active coach. So you kind of can't get away from this. This is necessary. So again, I break it down into months, and this is why it's really important. I'm glad we're doing this call now that it's just February, because you need to save everything. So I write down, even to keep a notebook, like if that helps you keep track of it. January, write the month. What did you buy exactly? And then again, I'll write the total for each individual thing here. Your business service fee too. Guys, it's only $16, but times 12, I'm really bad at math, but whatever that is. So itemize it the whole month, every single thing I bought, how much every single thing is, and then I do a total for the month, okay? And then at the end of your calendar year, where is it? You'll write a total like for the year. There it is, like grand total. I left that there. See, like I spent a ton of money on Beachbody stuff. Trainings. This is another tab. So I did the Chic Influencer community for a while. That was a monthly fee. That would be a write-off. My super weekend ticket, again, it's like $25, but like you wouldn't be going, right? So that's a tax write-off. Anything like that, any kind of course, anything you sign up for, like Ashley Laughlin does stuff. I just signed up for an Instagram course. It was $100. Like that's a write-off. It's a training for your business. So those are the tabs I use. Now you might add some or take some away. I just wanted to show you guys what I do. And this is what I've been doing for the last 5 years. So everything gets a grand total at the bottom. And then on my grand total tab, I have total income. So that'll be on your, Beachbody should have sent you guys a little stub by now. So my total income, what Beachbody said I made, my total write-offs. So I'll go and add up all my grand totals from each of these little tabs. And then my total profit, which is my income minus my write-offs. And then that gives you your total profit income, okay? Because even though we make what Beachbody says we make on that paper, but you have all of these write-offs for things that you buy for your business. So you have to minus that from your income. So then your total profit, that's what it looks like you made when all is said and done at the end of the day. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. And I'll, like I said, I'll share the link for that. That's the copy. So feel free to do whatever you want with it.
Okay. I'm glad that you shared that, because then I can like add to it and say what I do that is like what you do. Okay. Can you pull that back up? So there were a couple things, and here's what I do want to say. Melissa already made the comment. Every accountant is different, as crazy as that is. There may be an accountant that says you cannot write this off or you can write this off. The one thing that she did say with Beachbody expenses, write every single thing off that you have an expense with Beachbody. I don't care if it's collagen, beach bars, a workout program. Well, we don't do DVDs, Beachbody on demand, your business service fee, body, everything with Beachbody is a write-off. This is, for me, you have Beachbody expenses. I actually put all of that except business fees. Anything I purchase for Beachbody is under advertising and promotion. Okay. Business fees is a fee. So it's a business fee. So that's like your 16, whatever, if you're not military. I think it's $16.95 that I have. States may be different too. They vary with taxes and stuff. But that is the only thing that is like a business fee. The rest is advertising promotion. Go under USPS. Along with what she said, I spend around the same amount that she does as well. Make sure when you're tracking your gas mileage, every time you go to the post office, I don't care. Okay. Actually, unshare that because I need to show. I'll just try to remember like what you said and go with it. Okay, so this is my folder. And the difference between her and I is she's organized with using her computer. I still use pen and paper. I don't know why I've never gotten away from, I just love pen. I like writing. I think it makes me feel successful. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. Typing's quick and I need to feel like I worked hard. I don't know. So I have a notebook specifically for mileage. I track every mile. Okay, I'm usually trying to track every mile, but this is all I got this year. It was actually really bad. This is probably the least amount I've ever had, but track every mile that you take. So every time I went to the post office, I think I need to add some in here. Every time I went to the post office, I don't care that it's only 2.8 miles away. I'm tracking every 2.8 miles because you actually do get 50 something cents per mile given back to you on your when you do your expenses and stuff. So like I went to the post office, every time I go to Target, every time I I had a meeting with a coach or a client or someone that I was talking to about Beachbody, meals and entertainment, that is included and you track the miles on that. Oh, my stepdaughter's calling me. She calls at the wrong time. Okay. A team retreat. You best believe I drove 667 miles and there and back 667 miles. So that's over 1,300 miles that I could write down that I will get back per mile with that. And Super Saturdays, training events, all of that goes here. But even the UPS, I don't care if it's like a 1 mile down the road, track it, keep track of it because you'll get money back for it. So this was like a little breakdown of what I do that she shared on the computer. And it's literally just breaking down with travel, advertising, post office, office supply, food and entertainment, training, personal development is another tab. Am I going too fast? Okay. Training and personal development, that's its own. And then I have, okay, Shaco and Beachbody products. That is included in my advertising, but I actually wanted to also separate it so I see exactly what I'm buying from Beachbody. By the way, you thought 2,000 was a lot. I spent over 4,000. Dun-dun-dun. Okay. And subscription and fees, like I said, is separate. It's actually $16.91. Since I pay it every month, that was an easy $16.91 times 12, and that's $202 that you can get back by keeping track of that. And $4,000 is a whole lot of money that you spend with Beachbody if you do all of the supplements with my husband, and my kids use them too. So like, that's a lot, but it's all advertising and promotion because you get it to talk about it, right? It's just a perk with our business that we get to eat it and be healthy with what we're spending money on. Like, people are going to Walmart and Target and spending crap ton on collagen alone. Do you know how much collagen is at Target and Walmart? Because when I was out, I had to buy some at Target, and it was like 25 or 30 for like a half a month. Now my dogs are all going to go crazy. So we get to actually write that off, and it helps us. So, oh my goodness. Do you guys hear all that? Sorry. Okay. If anyone got a mixed bike, that's a write-off. All of it. For me, I bought my husband an Apple Watch for his birthday in November. That was a write-off because he's using it for our business. So, Melissa, your husband is signed up as a coach, right? You can use his cell phone bill.
Yeah. Well, under his, I do, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a coach,
right.
So he gets his own income thing from Beachbody. So yeah, so if you have a spouse signed up, not only do you have to do taxes for you have to do it for their account also. So I have to make sure I save enough stuff to write off my taxes and his.
Yep.
So yeah, everything, like his half goes on his write-offs, my half bill goes on my write-offs, and then whatever I buy under his account goes in his write-offs. Whatever I buy under my account goes under my. It's a lot of work that goes into taxes, but I like it though because it's literally like a huge reminder that, like, hey, this is a business. This is real life. You have to report to the government. Like, it's like a reality check every year, and I like that part of it.
Yep. Also, if you have health insurance, you need health insurance with a job, you should be able to write that off, which you probably do with whatever you have. But phone, internet, you already covered that. If you get anything for a phone case, a new charger, a screen protector, literally when Melissa said, go crazy with it, go crazy with it. Go get extra chargers. I get chargers a lot, but I write it all off because I still put it on my phone so I can say I'm using it for my business. Yep. Guess what, guys? Every time I go to the grocery store or Target or Walmart, I'll buy a pencil so I can write off that mileage. And now I have a new pencil or a pen. I love pens. All right. So it's pens, not pencils. I write off my pens every time I go, or envelopes, bubble envelopes, because we send a lot of things, or regular envelopes. Every time I buy one thing at the store, even though I'm not really going there for that, I can now write it off because I bought something for my office supplies. Post office, like she said, keep track of everything. So here's what I do. I separate everything, all my receipts, and I just tab them. I have like all of our stuff here, so not all of it's Beachbody related, but like here's my phone. Here's my phone, post office, promoting advertising. So with the promoting advertising, like she said, Zoom, my mompreneur stuff for my challenge groups. I do have an LLC, so I also have workers' comp insurance. That gets more into it as if you're making like $1,000 a month, get an LLC, because then you can write stuff off differently and then you can pay yourself, which is really cool. Dana, were you going to say something?
Yeah, that's something that I'll plan on doing with this once it progresses, because I already know the steps with the LLC for my nail services.
Right.
The one thing that I was going to ask you is, because this is totally making sense, do you go by like the time on the receipt and like kind of highlight and make sure that you know exactly what was for the business so you can prove the mileage for that as well? Is that how you do it?
I don't times, but I keep the receipt and the date shows when I went, and then I have the date with my mileage. Like on my mileage, I put the date that I actually drove, where I went, and how. Yeah.
It's all Documenting, just documenting everything. That way it makes it easier in the long run.
Absolutely. Yep. So also, if you guys have a blog and you went, like, I pay for Jetpack, and then I also have like it's a website fee, a standard SSL renewal fee that I have, because it gives me my specific name for my website. That's a write-off. That's under advertising and promotion. Canva, I pay for Canva. That way I can make my graphics pretty. That's also under advertising and promotion. So here's what I did with Beachbody to make it, this is how I made it really easy to see my expenses, because in your bank account, if you have like an online service that you can use, I go on my bank account, and if you go into the search under expenses and you just type in Beachbody, all your Beachbody expenses will come out, and just do the date specific from January 1st to December 31st. And now all your Beachbody fees are right there, and that's easier to add up. Okay. Also, the one other thing, Melissa mentioned the gifts that she gives to her clients, coaches, whatever giveaways that she does. I keep all of that under advertising and promotion. That's what my accountant has always told me to do. So that is what I do. Office supplies, I had to get my computer fixed once. That's under office supplies because I had to get it fixed. It's a write-off. I use QuickBooks. That's also a write-off. Let me see here. Like I said, Apple Watch, anything you use for your fitness, Fitbit, whatever you want to use, anything you pay for, that is a write-off for your business. Ink.
Deidre,
Yes.
do you guys like your books and things that you do self-development with? Is that something that you also put in there as a write-off?
Personal development, every book possible. I get Audible. I pay for it monthly also. So that's all under personal development and training.
So more reason to.
Right? You get 100% of that back. 100%. Buy all the books you want. You get it back at the end of the year. So yeah, you cannot go wrong with that. Here's my personal development. Hold on. I'm trying to keep this organized so I don't mess it up here. Personal development, like I said, any books, audible.com, if you're using that every month, add it up, put it under there. Go into your bank account, simply search Audible, and all your Audible stuff will come up. Let me see here. That's my cookbook. And then travel. She already covered travel. Everything she does, I do. If you're parking in a garage, that is a write-off for a training event. Print out the parking garage receipt, like everything you do. And food, my accountant is not letting me write off food and entertainment anymore if I'm having a meeting. So it can actually be listed under travel now. If you're traveling for your business, food will be covered. So just put it under travel. Meals and entertainment, he said it's either not being covered or it's like they're just being really weird about how they write that off now. So travel, if you're doing any traveling and you're talking about Beachbody, it's a write-off. So if I go to my mom's, she's one of my coaches. She's actually still getting paid. We talk about Beachbody, and that is now an expense for travel for Beachbody.
I do the same if I go visit my sister because she lives like 6 hours away, like the gas, pools, hotel rooms, anything like that.
Yep. Pretty crazy. Good stuff. That's why I love taxes, because I'm like, what money can I get back? I'm always looking for different things. If I buy clothes, this is what's really iffy, and this depends on the accountant. Some people will write off their workout clothes. I know Megan is an accountant. She still can be an accountant. So she's very educated on that. She writes off her gym clothes and all her stuff. My accountant wouldn't let me. So that it really depends on who you have and who you use. But I did go shopping for photo shoots for my business, and I will write that out and put it under uniform. We had our leadership retreat last year in Tennessee, and I did buy a couple outfits and things specifically for it. And it was a uniform write-off. So I guess how you word it you can make it happen. But if you're just buying clothes and you're wearing them for everyday use, it's going to be really hard to write that off. You're really going to have to show proof of that. Because if you get audited, you don't want to worry about that kind of crap. That's not something you want to mess with. Yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but we covered a lot. Do you guys have questions on anything specific? I guess we can ask that. Or anything you want to add if you're like, hey, you guys forgot something.
Something I did too over time, like a few years in, is I ended up making a separate bank account for it. And then I got I have a credit card too that's only for Beachbody stuff. That way, like anything I buy for Beachbody goes on that credit card. And then whenever my statement comes every month, you can just put that whole slip in your tax write-up. That's just going to make your life easier. Don't put anything else on it, only Beachbody stuff. That's just going to help keep you super organized. And then it's a lot of work organizing all of your stuff. Like Deidre showed you her stuff. Like, here is mine. Here's all my crap. Okay. Your accountant doesn't want all of this though. This is for you. Literally, I'll show you guys. The only thing I turn into my accountant is the stubs that Beachbody gives you. And then I print off the slips from the what is that? Like Google Sheets, I guess. That's all I give her is like each individual sheet printed off and my stubs for Beachbody. So it's a lot of work. You do all of this just to hand her this, but that's all they want. They just put the totals.
I give my accountant all of my stuff.
Oh, do you? I don't give her this.
Really? Nope. Wonder if my accountant just laughs at me. I'm like,
Right.
there's all my stuff, all my receipts, everything's.
You're not the only one.
Okay.
I organize everything in a folder, and if I gotta get someone else to do my taxes and I don't do it myself, I'm like, here's a giant ass folder. It's all organized. Have fun. All my totals are on cue cards.
Yeah.
To the top.
I've been working since I was little. I've always filed my own taxes, but I've always did the EIC because I have not had to itemize with the kids. I've had kids since I was little, so I've always done that instead of itemizing. So eventually, this is what I'll have to do. Especially all my kids are getting older.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do it, right?
No, it's a learning curve. And like for us, like I know you guys do separate things differently in the States and whatnot. So for me, I'm just like, I didn't make over this much. I'm not even dealing with Beachbody this year. It's just going to the wayside because this shit just gets too confusing.
Well, and that's like Florida. We pay taxes for a lot, like the things we buy at the store. So there's like certain state tax at the end that we don't have to do in our taxes, if that makes sense. Other states. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it does make sense for sure.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So it's good time. I was late, but I'm sorry. Time got away from me.
And we recorded this, so if you want to catch the beginning of it, because Melissa did go over like the whole spreadsheet that she has, which was great. So
it was awesome.
Yeah,
I loved it because it broke everything down. It gives you, if you don't use that, especially, it gives you a really good idea now, like for me now, to start tracking everything.
One thing that I usually do too for like your workout clothing and stuff like that you were mentioning was like, if I'm purchasing multiple items, I will purchase only my workout clothes as like a separate purchase. I'll be like, check this in.
Yeah.
And then I have just that receipt showing I just made a purchase of workout clothing from a specified, like, I don't know, say Under Armour.
I would do the same thing too.
Yeah. And you can
thing.
claim that either under uniform or office. I don't know if it's office supplies, something. You guys do it differently. Pardon?
It probably depends on your accountant on what they want it under. But it goes along with like Melissa saying, have a separate bank account. Like that was the one thing I did right away. I probably should have said that. But like when you have it, purchase everything separate and just use that debit card or credit card or whatever you're using. That way, you know, everything on that account is Beachbody. So it'll be easier to track. But like, this doesn't really have to be hard. If you're every month, get all your receipts and organize them under what tab it goes under: office supplies, gas, track your mileage on that, on your notebook.
Get like a vanilla folder and throw everything in that one folder. And then at the end of the month, that's when you put that one together and start a new one.
Yep, absolutely. It'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, I personally like separate everything into, like, if it's office supplies, everything for office supplies, and then you just keep putting all the receipts in the back, so they're always organized by like month or like time and stuff. But another another thing, if you're doing your car, I don't know if you guys mentioned this earlier, like I have a little notebook that I keep in my car, and I'll write down my kilometers before I go somewhere that's specifically work related. I do it for personal training too. And then when I get back home, I write in my little kilometers, so then that way you don't have to deal with the garbage of trying to figure out how many kilometers you went wherever and then Google Map it, because that's all they're going to use too, right? If you're not exact.
Right.
Oh, one thing I heard you mention earlier, and I wanted to double check with you. So for instance, like if we're doing something like physical wise, like it could be for me, like if I join one of the Disney marathons and pay for the marathon, could I include that as a business because it's getting healthier to, you know, do the coaching stuff?
You could probably figure out a way to make that a coaching.
If you are gaining people or engaging people to do it, you could use it as a business expense because you're doing it specifically to promote your business. So if you look at it in that light, you're guaranteed to be able to add it, and it'll count towards your taxes.
Yep.
They're like right at my I've never done one before, and people love them, and I'm like right there all the time. So I thought about doing that.
Yeah, they're good. We did the Great Lakes. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Well, I'm sure you are. Sorry, it's the whole Canada, US thing. I don't know what people know about up here. It's always fun and interesting. People think I ride polar bears to work, but you know, such is life. I've had that conversation with someone before, and I lived in an igloo. So, you know, Canada, we're that north, right? Yeah. Okay. So your face is telling me common sense should kick in at some point. So
we got it.
Above and beyond. Okay. That's good to know. So anyways, like we did these virtual runs, and they're all the Great Lakes. So each one is X kilometers, and you had to finish it within a certain timeline. And honestly, they're so much fun because you can do literally anything that you want to count towards it, as long as you're like working towards it. If you go for a run, you can count that. If you go for a bike ride, you can count that. And like they usually log it into a separate app. So anytime you're active, you just log into that app, and then it automatically accumulates it all for you. And it's pretty good. Like something to do. Yeah. Something to kill time.
That's awesome. What was I gonna say? It was about the mileage.
I was thinking like the meal prep containers, all that, because that's one of my biggest things when I post those. But a lot of people comment. Yeah. Yeah, because when I post those, that's my biggest attraction is the food part, because of the healthier versions I can show, and just like me throwing the garden, because I garden, especially here in Florida. It's so nice with the weather that a lot of my fresh herbs and things come from right outside, like flowers. It's just not like I just got pansies coming. So you guys are going to see my flower water and all my flowers on my food. I promise you, like it's good weather now for that.
I'm excited we got like 3 feet of snow.
You would be surprised how many, if you Google, like if you go to the plant shop, right, and you see a certain flower that's really pretty that has color, because before I would have herbs, but it was so much green everywhere and I wanted color. So I would start Googling the flowers, and there are so many that are nutritional for you, and you just don't even realize it, that are just right outside. Half of them are in our medicines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like pansies right now are in season. Those are super nutritious, and they're kind of like on the mint family. I will take one and eat one. Like literally, just take.
Dandelions are good too. Like dandelion
I
heads,
have
you know,
them
it's like
growing wild. They grow wild in my backyard. I sit on like
And
2 acres.
more mileage in taxes.
sorry,
So I have
eating
them,
dandelions
the
and flowers
leaves,
now.
like I could make a bunch of salads because the leaves are everywhere in my backyard. They're just growing everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm going to stop the
mileage.
recording, and if we're done talking about, are we done talking about taxes?
Well, do you remember what you were going to say about mileage?
No.
Okay.
One more thing.
Basically just
Sarah
talking
told me
about
before.
Go ahead.
She said if I would go to Walmart and buy like a nice white plate, like I've done that before too, wrote off dishes, because like if I'm putting a meal on a plate and I'm gonna take a picture of it and use it as a photo, like I need it to look pretty, right? So I've done that before too.
Yeah.
I'm big with the background surrounding pictures. So I'll go to like a store, anything clearance or on sale, I will find a picture. I don't know what I'll use it for, but sometimes it's just plopping it behind my food, and it makes a huge difference just with your photo.
Yeah. I guess, again, this is all going to depend on what your accountant allows, because if I would see a plate, my accountant would be like, okay, but you use that for everyday use. Whereas I published a cookbook, so I was able to write off my plates because I use it for my photo shoots for my book.
You'd really have to categorize it.
You have to be
you really
in
got
the
to
right
figure
spot.
out like
right.
what could be used. That's not always every day that would count towards a business thing, and so on and so forth as well, right?
Some people will be like, sure, write it off. So I don't know.
Like Deidre's cookbook I'm getting this month is a write-off because I'm going to be showing people my meal preps with the foods I'm making from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Melissa, was there anything else? Okay.
Deidre, one thing that I wanted to catch up with you, and this will be probably separate,